Hello friends, jumping in for Monday message. I wanted to have a bit of a natter about, I think it's a topic that I've mentioned many times. It's kind of like the topic. It is the topic which kind of permeates through so many of the messages that come through. And that is just the reminder that we are creating it all. Everything that is happening, there is not, in my understanding, and as I've always said, don't just believe me, just feel into your heart as to what feels right for you. But my understanding is this particular realm, it is the playing out of our collective consciousness. And we are currently here incarnated in a human form together with our consciousness. That is one aspect of the bigger collective, but it's not even an aspect gets it wrong, because an aspect gives us the sense that it's separate from the rest. But this is what I really want to hone in on. And I share this with you because I grapple with this on the daily. Like, I was just laughing at myself going, okay, what's the message going to be? It's going to be that we are creating it all, living consciousness. We are everything. We are all connected. There is no separation. And for us to really start to be really mindful of our contribution, and that we are in a choose your own adventure right now on this realm. And the more that we play in to all of the fear-based prophecies, shall I say, of all the things that are going to happen here, the more we create that. But in saying that, I'm like, okay, I want to come on and really help us each with our discipline, with our thoughts. And I'm laughing because I'm like, this is not something that we just reach and we achieve and we are just, oh my God, we are all consciousness and we are Zen and we never have a thought that is anything unhelpful. That's BS. For me, right? I don't know. There may be humans out there that have reached that level where they are so connected with all of consciousness, and they have integrated their humanness to the point that their ego is just gone. But that's not most of us. So I'm laughing because I'm saying, okay, I'm going to really talk about giving you guys some tools and tips and things around, okay, how do we ensure that we are putting delicious thoughts back out into this tapestry when we have to live a bloody human fucking mundane life. Sorry, not sorry. Those of you who have been in here for a while, you know sometimes I can swear. It's just, sorry, that's how it is. So the thing is that what I find sometimes is the more I become connected to the fact that we are all one and that we are responsible for all of this, and the more I am working on dropping the ego, I kind of find that I just can't be bothered doing much at all. I don't know if people, because it's like, right, today, for example, we had 3 kids home sick today, and it was just like a total hassle for me. I'm like, want to teach Zen and compassion and all of these beautiful things that I try and share with people. But the reality of my day today, I was like, oh, really? I got to look after you guys and feed you and bring waters to you and all of this kind of stuff. And I'm like, I can't be bothered. And this is the stuff. We are just in this human existence where we have to do a lot of stuff that's really mundane. And so the beauty is when, despite that, you can kind of laugh at yourself, right? And just be like, oh yeah, okay, Leisha, okay, yeah. And because you then get also trapped in your it's mundane story. So we have all these stories that our ego just rolls out all the time trying to trap us, this funny little ego, right? To edge God out, ego, edge God out. So how do we have this energy, these thoughts that are moving us towards humanity coming back to connectedness, coming back to remembrance that we are all one. We are all one energy and there is no separation. But how do we do this when we look like we're separated? We're in these different physical bodies. People say things and do things that annoy us and piss us off, right? But lo and behold, that is one part of ourselves pissing another part of ourselves off and playing all this stuff out like this big stage play that is here. So my first tip, I'm going to get into my lawyer hat now. And tip number 1, just laugh at yourself as many times as you can in the day. Laugh at yourself as many times as you can in the day to just lighten things up. Like I just kind of had a bit of a blah day, didn't get to do the things I wanted to do, felt a bit like I hadn't really performed in a way for one of my legal matters where it was like, oh, I should have done that earlier. Like, you hadn't got this done and that done, right? And then I'm trying to jump on here and say, I'm going to give you some tips and tools, blah, blah, blah. So do you know what I did? I just went straight and had like a pan full of chocolate bullets, which is like, okay, these are helpful strategies or unhelpful strategies. But you know what? That was it. And that's what I needed in that moment. I just needed some chocolate bullets and they just like got me back and I laughed at myself. I ate my bullets. I was like, okay, today, this is just how it was, right? So the more we expect to find this experience of life where everything is just grooving and everything is going tickety-boo or whatever you say and it's all just delicious and things are just smashing and happening and blah, 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 blah. If we think that is going to be all the time, then we are just setting ourselves up for a lot of feelings of blah. So yes, we can be in the zone and there can be, oh my God, amazing moments of that where it's like far out, this is incredible, things are just, you're in the flow, you're in the zone, like nothing can touch that feeling of that bliss. And that bliss is just like amazing. It feels so delicious. And when you're in there, when you're feeling that stuff, harness it, enjoy it, but have those moments to remember when you're in the mundane, when you're in the shitty moments, when you're in the overwhelm, when you're in the, feel like you've disappointed someone or let someone down, all that kind of hoo-ha. It's just stepping back and saying, okay, yeah, this is the human thing, right? There are those moments where it's like, whoa, and then there are those moments where it's like, ooh, right? And that's just how it is. However, if we stay in the da, right, or we suppress it and we don't accept it and just let it feel through ourselves, then we are just pushing back into the collective consciousness, suppression, denial, resentment, blah, blah, blah. And that has to manifest and work its way out and pop up to the surface somewhere in a way, shape or form of some pretty serious arrangements that are being purged out right now that collective consciousness has created. We have created these situations that have been happening and unfolding on this realm. We have. I have. Every single one of us has, mostly through our unconscious wanderings of our mind. So how do we get our mind to get into deliberate creation? To be in the present, to feel the feels, to acknowledge, oh my God, that was like a seriously human experience just then, whatever it was, like with the chocolate bullets or the whatever. Like, okay, yeah, that's just it. That's just what it was. It was. Okay, it's done. It's gone. Thank you. Mwah. Right? And then starting to deliberately create. So every time, I give an example. So if there are a number of people right now who are freaking themselves out about potential N warfare, right? And that this is gonna Okay, so if that's you, or if that's not your thing, but there's something else for you that is your flip out, that is your fear generator, that is something that is playing boom boom loud in your mind. Every time that script starts playing, every time that tune starts playing, right? I am in control. I am a divine creator. You just take the reins back. I am a divine creator, and I choose to imagine such a world as blah, blah. And then you start putting out your manifestation, your creation of how you want this new earth to be. The more of us that are consciously awake, that are manifesting in this way and deliberately creating, the more of us that start to do this, the more that this frequency of whole collective consciousness starts to, the momentum starts to swell in that way, so that we don't have all the density stuff, the blah, 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 the stuff. So I was listening to Esther Hicks. It took me a long time to get onto Esther Hicks, but I was listening to something she said the other day, and she said something like, one human who is conscious and deliberately creating is more powerful than millions who are on autopilot effectively. So this is for us humans, those who are listening to this. You're not listening to this just like by an accident. You're listening to this message because this message is for you. You are powerful. You are able to contribute to the tapestry of this universe for our choose our own adventure, for how this plays out, the next steps, the next pieces of the puzzle. So choose wisely, friends. Try our best not to get too caught up in the fear narratives. And there are a lot of them on all different stages and all different sides, if you want to talk about sides, of which there aren't really in reality. It just looks like that right now, and is that in the sense of the physical experiences of stuff. But the reality, the true reality, that which is not an illusion, is that it is all just a playing out of stuff, and that there is no good and there are no bad. There is no bad. There are no goodies and no baddies. There are no evil beings in the sense of the true truth of us. There are humans who are perpetuating that, for sure. For sure. So I think this has been the highlight of my day, talking to you after a day with three humans at home. And I'm so grateful to have this group, just to have a little bit of a chat, in the hope that this will be helpful and the message will resonate with one of you. That's always been my thing. It's like, if this helps one person, then awesome. Thank you so much. Those of you who've watched, hey Lise, hello. We need to have a walk. I've got that on my list still. Hey Nerida, hello gorgeous. Hey Liv, you're laughing at me swearing probably. Yes, at times mundane and at time beyond magic. Yes, exactly, Lise. And it's like that quote by Elizabeth Gilbert. I came here to experience the lot of it. The whole ride, the whole kit and caboodle of being in this human body, like all the absolute joys and the highs. And yeah, there are going to be some shitty times, right? But we just came for the experience of all of it, right? What do you say, Lise? This is a spiritual experience, life, right? Yes, exactly. life. Surround ourselves with people who can help remind us all the time. Yes, Lisa. Liv, limp balls for you 5 minutes ago. They were your bullets of mine. Love it. Fizz sticks, Nerida. Yes, of course. Hey, Nick Belcher. Suzanne, it just is. It just is. It just is. It just is. And Miss Marlo Rainicar, so good. I love you. You're so good. So thanks, friends, for jumping in. Or if you're watching the replay, you want to add anything to the to the chat. So there are no idle thoughts, friends, in this mind. Well, the mind is not even in the brain. It's way beyond that. This is just, we have like a pretty unsophisticated brain, actually, in our physical body. We don't like to think of that in our egos, that we all think humans are amazing, but this brain, this is pretty unsophisticated. Our mind is what's doing it, which is way beyond, way beyond. Your power is beyond anything that you can physically see. So whenever we go into the overwhelm, whenever we go into, oh my God, blah blah, mundane life, mundane day, shitty, I don't want to have to do this, blah 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 blah, all the stuff, just have a tiny, just a millimeter step back from your own being and just kind of watch from above and just have a bit of a laugh at yourself and go, oh yeah, I know, this is the stuff you signed up for, right? Remember, there's going to be some of that. There's going to be some of that. It's just kind of part of the game and part of the play, and not to get too caught up and not to get too drawn down into our shittiness or our pity parties or whatever, but equally not to deny it, like to feel it. You are entitled to feel your stuff. And we've been told as humans, no, you can't do that. No, you can't feel sad. No, don't do that. Oh, and this toxic positivity, and don't feel that, and oh, but what about this, or it could have been worse, or blah blah blah, all that stuff that we do as humans because it's uncomfortable for people to feel their shit or for us to feel our shit. And so basically, this is a big thing to say, but this is what's coming. A lot of what we're experiencing right now in terms of the purging and all of the hoo-ha that's emerging is because humanity has not been prepared to feel their stuff. Okay, that's interesting. Over generations, humanity has not been prepared to feel its stuff over the generations, and now it's like boom, 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 all the purging of that. So we've got the opportunity to reset that, to start to feel our stuff, to allow ourselves to feel it. All right, I'm nattering on too much now, and I need to go sort out my kids. All right. I love you. Thanks, Liv. Thank you, Leash. Lovely reminder, we are all powerful beings in whichever way we choose. Exactly. Even when you are being powerful in grabbing that lint ball and bloody enjoying every bit of it. And don't feel guilty. Enjoy it. Mwah. I love you guys. That is a Monday message from Leash. Bye. Bye, Miss Marlo.